TOBAGO Business Chamber recognizes the desperate position that the government has been placed in, and as a result, we lend our support to the government's latest measure in terms of the declaration of a state of emergency and the curfew. We, however, urge that these measures be applied with the greatest of restraint and caution, and we remind and we remain affirmative in our position that these must remain short-term measures only. These are not the long-term solutions to the current pandemic crisis facing Trinidad and Tobago. We have said repeatedly that vaccination is the only solution, and we want to hear more about the government's plan to roll out widespread vaccinations for Trinidad and Tobago. It is not sufficient to simply have imposition of restrictions and lockdowns and curfews and state of emergency. Apart from state of emergency, we want to hear about the state of immunization. What is the current state of immunization of our population? What is the current plan to ensure that we can reach that 70% where we can have herd immunity? What is the plan to acquire more vaccines? What is the plan to ensure that we of Trinidad and Tobago will be ultimately protected from the ravages of this virus so that we can get back to a state of normalcy and some semblance of normal life? This pandemic is causing frustration, it's causing depression, it's causing heartache, it's breaking up families, it is causing job losses. It is really wreaking havoc in Trinidad and Tobago, and we understand it's not something that the government had any part in. It's not something that they can control in the sense that they are not the ones who brought it on us. However, in terms of our response to it, we are saying it must not just be the repressive, restrictive lockdown measures. We must also be taking proactive steps. And the most proactive step that Trinidad and Tobago can take in this regard, and the most proactive step we are looking for the government to take in this regard, would be to ensure that there's widespread vaccination and immunization of the population. We have made suggestions in the past. We have given ideas to the government in terms of how we can partner with the government to ensure that these things can be achieved, and we look forward to hearing from the government in terms of their responses to these suggestions as to how we can move forward in Trinidad and Tobago.